future reference. This meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting school corporation's business and is not to be considered a community meeting. There will be time for public participation as indicated on the agenda. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent at the school corporation's central office. If anybody would like to speak under other, there will be time on the agenda. There is a form over there with Mr. Elwood. If you please fill that out and return it to the same place. Thank you. Our mission is to educate, empower, and inspire excellence. We're going to start off with the good news report. Mrs. Devers Lowy, an intern.
Okay, good evening. Today I have Camille Armour with me. I feel like she's a student that really needs no introduction, but I will introduce her anyway. She is going to be with me throughout the school year, working as a public relations intern. She's one of our amazing art students at the high school. She was our Best in Show winner at the art show this year, and she had some very, very amazing work. So I will turn things over to her to give the good news report.
Hi.
Hi.
Good news. Our family and staff celebrated the beginning of the school year with Back to School Night. Each of our elementary and middle schools invited parents to come and meet their staff, tour the building, and enjoy time with each other. 2. Anonymous donors have been providing our elementary students with books this school year. Thanks to their generosity, classrooms throughout our district received a free book for each student in the class each month. This month, Miss Meese's class at Saylor Elementary School received If You Give a Mouse a Brownie by Laura Numeroff. The students are enjoying their new books. Fagley Middle School has a new slogan this year. The phrase, "A home with four walls and tomorrow inside," was developed by a Fagley student, Yvonne Luna. Last year, Ms. Helton studied marketing and business strategies with her students and helped them develop a slogan for Fagley Middle School. Congratulations to Yvonne for developing the winning slogan, which was printed on banners that hang throughout the school building. Upcoming events. Willow Creek Middle School will be hosting a walkathon this Friday at 10 a.m. Any student who donates at least $5 to Willow Creek's PTO will be invited to walk and enjoy a treat outside. The first Late Start Wednesday on this school year will take place on September 4th. The next mobile marketplace will be at Portage High School, Door A, on Thursday, September 12th.
And that is the good news report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lots of good things happening. Next, we'll move on to agenda adjustment. Does anybody on the board or the superintendent have an agenda adjustment? Hearing none, we'll move on to the superintendent's consent agenda. I'll make a motion to approve the personnel report for August 26, 2019, the donations for August 2019, the claims report for August 2019, and the facility use request report.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Clancy?
Yes.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
And Trustee Bristol.
Yes. Next, we'll need a motion for the board consent agenda. The meeting minutes, do you want me to read it, or do you
No.
want to make a?
I make a motion to approve the board consent agenda and the meeting minutes.
I'll second. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Clancy?
Yes.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
And Trustee Bristol.
Yes. Next, we'll move on to the board development committee report, strategic plan. Myself, we do have a legislative update. There isn't much going on in the state of Indiana. There was a couple of study committees that I think the ISBA has been doing a good job of updating everybody on those this summer. And also, I don't know if Dr. Alanes is going to go and announce it, but the governor made a statement today that the I-Learns will be, all districts in the state of Indiana will be held harmless, so, which is good news for everybody since it was a new exam. And then also, as far as the policy, as the board is aware, The Indiana School Board Association, they have a free policy review that is included in our subscription fee. So that has been, our policies have been with the ISBA for this whole summer. They are complete, and it was free. So therefore, Dr. Alanez has set up numerous meetings throughout the next couple of months for us to review them and therefore to get a policy committee and then to get them to you to approve. The board plan, there is no update on that, and then we do have a federal flash from the federal level. Thank you.
The deadline to comment on the FCC's proposal to alter E-rate funding nears. 500,000 students could lose automatic eligibility for free school lunches, and the appropriations process heats up in Congress. Hi, I'm Jason Amos, and I'm joined by Ann Heislip. Let's begin with E-rate. Ann?
Thanks, Jason. Our viewers may recall that the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, is proposing to place an overall cap on the Universal Service Fund that finances the E-rate program. E-rate provides funds to make internet connectivity and other telecommunications services more affordable for schools and libraries. The FCC is also proposing to combine the E-rate and rural healthcare program spending caps. The Universal Service Fund, or USF, includes E-rate, the Rural Healthcare Program, and 2 other programs that support rural and low-income communities. While the Republican commissioners believe the new overall cap will make USF programs more efficient, we're concerned that the 4 USF programs will face an environment where they must compete for funding under a combined spending cap. Further, by proposing to merge spending caps for E-rate and the Rural Healthcare Program, the distinct purpose of each program will be muddled.
The FCC has extended its deadline for comments on the proposal until Monday, August 26th. Many groups, such as the Education and Library Networks Coalition, or EdLink, and the National School Boards Association have already submitted comments in opposition. All4Ed is working with school and district leaders in our Future Ready Schools network to collect signatures on a letter opposing the proposal. Hundreds of Future Ready leaders supported previous efforts by the FCC to modernize and expand the E-rate program. While these efforts have been successful in expanding reliable Wi-Fi for schools and libraries, there are still over 2.3 million students without access to high-speed broadband. The letter expresses concern that the new overall cap on USF and a combined cap on E-rate and rural healthcare program spending will stymie the FCC's commitment to modernize and expand the E-rate program and leave millions of students without high-speed internet access. To learn more and sign on to the letter to support Wi-Fi in schools, visit futureready.org/ourwork/FCC. The deadline to sign is Thursday, August 22nd.
Turning to another federal agency, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has proposed revising how it determines eligibility for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. SNAP provides what has historically been known as food stamps to low-income individuals and families. Children who live in households receiving SNAP benefits are directly certified or eligible to receive free school meals. SNAP is also used to determine whether schools may participate in community eligibility, which allows high-poverty schools to provide free meals to all students without requiring families to file school lunch applications. USDA's proposed rule narrows the definition used to automatically identify eligible recipients for SNAP, arguing that it would be clearer and more consistent and better target funds. The proposal, however, would also reduce the number of students automatically eligible for free school meals and the number of schools qualifying for community eligibility. House Education Committee Chairman Bobby Scott raised concerns in a letter to USDA asking for clarity on the number of students that would be affected and for a restart of the 60-day comment period, as the USDA did not publicly disclose the impact on the school lunch program in the proposed regulation. According to Chairman Scott's letter, USDA staff relayed to the committee that the proposed rule will result in more than 500,000 children losing their automatic eligibility for free school meals.
Finally, a quick update on the budget and appropriations process. Just before Congress left for the August recess, President Trump signed the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2019, which raises discretionary spending caps for fiscal years 2020 and 2021. While the bill does not fund federal agencies, it does provide spending targets for defense and non-defense programs and sets the stage for the Senate Appropriations Committee to start drafting its funding bills. Viewers may recall that the House Appropriations Committee already began work on its spending bills without the new budget in place. Rumor has it that the bills funding defense programs and labor, health, and education programs may be first up in the Senate once they return in September. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
That's all for today. For an email alert when the next federal flash is available, email us at alliance@allfored.org. Thanks for watching.
Trustee Maleta, do you have anything to report out on, sir?
I do not.
Trustee Vasquez?
No.
Trustee Clancy? Trustee Finley?
No.
Next, we'll move on to old business, approval of the superintendent's contract. We'll need a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the superintendent's contract.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Clancy?
Yes.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
Trustee Bristol?
Yes. To move on to new business, we're gonna need approval of advertisement of the printer copier RFQ and rollout plan. I'll make that motion. Do we have a second? I'll
Second.
Discussion, Dr. Alanos?
As is in your packet here, the rollout plan and information for print management. We have continued to review the data, and I want to express my gratitude to the team as they really dug into the data and reviewed the amount of copies as well as the amount of color and making some changes that we have been in discussion with the Association of Teachers to again just minimize the printing costs and make sure that we're able to keep dollars in the classroom for the needs of our students and prioritize how those dollars are spent best.
Can you explain what a rollout plan is? Because I'm sure that anybody who's watching this
Sure.
will see this a lot come up to the board.
Yes, the rollout plans are developed and they are in alignment with what our leading practices as we have learned from the National School Board Association and districts that are successful across the nation. In particular, we've worked closely with Fremont schools in Illinois who had originally provided us this template. And it includes making sure you're implementing leading practices for whatever it is that you're putting in place in the district, as well as identifying what the current need and situation is, and what you're going to do to make that plan sustainable, to include a timeline, who's accountable, what are the steps to be in the introduction of the plan, the implementation, and in the continuation of the plan. Also, any potential issues and questions so that we can be proactive in addressing those things as they may come forward without, again, being reactive. Of course, a budget that is included so that we can make sure, again, also sustainable. And then any other additional resources and replacement plans in particular in this situation so that we forecasted 6 years out, and we've also went back 9 years to see where we've been throughout the district with print history. So looking at our past as well as predicting our future is an important piece of the rollout plan, whether it be for curriculum, print management, whatever we see fit in the district when we're looking at any type of department plan for maintenance, how we roll that out.
So, yes, this is leading your best practice, a request from the National School Board Association that the school board did bring back to the superintendent and the past superintendent that any big project or new initiative period would have to include a rollout plan so that we can see how the taxpayers' dollars are gonna be allocated and used properly and not just kind of forgotten along the path, which has happened sometimes. So like you said, there's accountability, there's actually a budget that they have to stay into. And with this plan resources, there's leading practices, there's 3 of them. So there's Smart Printing for Schools, Samsung resource, a printer cost challenge and best practices for print management, and limiting printer cost resources. So a print management is something that all large corporations have typically in order to watch costs, because printing costs are extremely expensive, not only for the paper, the ink, the maintenance, but also for the machines. And if you don't have accountability to your staff, your administrators, or anybody else who's printing, those costs are very, very costly. And that's where we were at, and I do not believe we did have a print management before in place, did we?
That is correct, we do not.
So this is good to see, and it's good to see that we've reached out, your department reached out, and found leading practices on their own to figure out how to get this rolling in the right manner to save taxpayers' dollars, because that's what this is about. So thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Trustee Clancy?
Yes.
Trustee Brunel?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
And Trustee Christoff?
Yes. With that being said, Mr. Elwood, I know that you've been involved on this. The school board has asked you to get involved with this project, as far as making sure that it was bid out properly, and that we would get as many vendors, attract as many vendors as possible, and that's where we're at with this finally. So what do you anticipate?
So our policies do, in a quote situation, because this is a service contract, and we believe under the $150,000 threshold anyways, but we are asking you to allow us to advertise it just as if it were a bid so that we can attract as many vendors as possible. But I know a minimum of 5 have been identified as working on these particular machines and doing maintenance agreements on these machines. So at least 5, and so hopefully more.
And then you've had experience at the county level and also with the city.
Well, my personal office, North Shore, the city, and county, I don't want to say it in public, but it's a racket. You've got to watch it, and you've got to manage your cost, and you can really get sideways with the contract. And so it's important to manage that constantly, because if you start making more copiers, you're charged at a different rate, so you should renegotiate the. So, anyways, I'm happy the schools are doing that.
Yes, and so am I. And happy that we are going to get as many as we can to bid on this, because it is important to look at everybody if we can. Thank you. Next, we're going to move on to approval over the overnight field trips. We're going to need a motion to approve Portage High School to go into Terre Haute, Indiana for boys cross country from 9/6 through 9/7, and Oak Lawn, Illinois for varsity volleyball tournament on 9/20 through 9/21. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question. I noticed that the allotment for meals during the volleyball tournament, it's $5 for breakfast, $8 for lunch, and $10 for dinner. Are there, is there a final cost for each of the field trips? Or can that be changed? I just see that $8 for lunch. I mean, what can you purchase that's going to be healthy for them, as well as dinner? Is there any way we can increase that?
Well, this is dictated by your policy.
Well, and this in particular is, the dollar amount is through the dollars with the Booster Club and those things with athletics. So there's, the way that that works, I know that the coaches can be really creative about how they get all of the kids fed within the allotment of dollars that they are given, but I would definitely say that those dollars are coming from the dollars raised within that department.
So we don't pay out of general fund, the school
We
district.
do not. As a
For
matter of
any
fact,
meals.
we've actually learned that some districts do not provide an allotment for meals at all, which was something that was new to me. And the same is true if it's not an IHSAA sponsored event, such as a tournament, then some school districts won't pay the fees associated with lodging. And ours still raise enough funds that if they want to go to an additional tournament that's competitive, even if it's not, and forgive me for not knowing the exact terms, but sanctioned by or affiliated with.
Sanctioned by.
Okay, I was good, all right.
Very good.
But we at this time still provide the transportation and the lodging and the meals, even if it's not sanctioned. And at this time, they've not expressed that they're not able to accommodate the needs of the kids with that. I know some come with a little bit extra spending money, others do not, but we at least make sure everybody is fed. And I'm happy to share with Mr. Joseph and Mr. Pointer that, you know, as they allocate dollars, of course, prioritizing healthy meals for kids is an important thing.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Clancy?
Yes.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
And Trustee Frisbee.
Yes. Dr. Alanis, do you have anything, report or comments?
I do. First of all, I would just like to mention, as Trustee Obrasco stated, that the ILEARN results, the governor has said that all districts will be held harmless. We will be sending a letter out to our parents that the interns are working on to make sure that they understand these results. And ultimately just letting everyone know that these cut scores were set after the test. Also, rescores had to be submitted to the state of Indiana before scores were released. So you would have to anticipate that just maybe your child might need a rescore. And also difficult for our families was the idea that for the first time, if you did request a rescore, you ran the risk of your child's score being taken down. So previously, you were at least held harmless as far as if you didn't get additional points, but you didn't lose points, and this time that was not the case. And then, of course, just the new content, the rigor of the test, and those cut scores being set after the test has been a challenge for all districts across the state. We are watching our scores. We are utilizing that data along with our NWEA data. I will tell you that our NWEA data, thank goodness for having the board approve that years back, because that is the data that is driving our instruction, because it is solid nationally normed data that allows us to meet the needs of our kids where they are in the classroom in their instructional and independent levels.
So would you, it's an acronym, NWEA, so do you mind?
You know what? That's a really good question.
But anyway, I'll just explain it a little bit. So the NWEA is something that a lot of states have adopted, as opposed to each state in the country can adopt their own test. And we have been through ISTEP and numerous other tests, and now we're in NLearn. This was something that I believe a lot of the teachers and school personnel, superintendents did want the NWEA as a state-driven test and accountability, and they chose not to. So once again, other states have done that. The federal government has not put out a specific test, so that each state is able to do what they want to do. So you probably
Yes,
have the
I have
answer.
it now. It's the Northwest Evaluation Association.
Yes.
And this, again, is testing language arts, reading, math, and science. It's a tool that represents academic growth, again, helping us to determine where our students are and helping us get there and making sure that our instructional practices are leading practices so that kids are growing.
And if I'm not mistaken, the argument that the NWEA supporters had downstate was that this is not a one-time snapshot, and that it's a disservice to students depending on if they're sick, the anxiety of taking a one-time snapshot test. And this is something that does, like Dr. Alanis says, monitors growth throughout the school year. It's multiple tests, and the students are able then to grow and know their tests, and it's not an anxiety-ridden type of test. Very true.
So it's administered in the fall, right away. It starts in mid-year in January, and then at the end of the year. And there are reports that are available for especially teachers and parents, so they can see the growth in the areas that children need to either improve or where they're succeeding.
We also know that one of the strongest indicators of future success for a student is being able to identify where they've grown and also seek to determine goals for their academic achievement. And because of that, we do the individual conferencing with students and set goals based on their achievement data, specifically with this assessment, and also our reading assessments at the elementary level. And we found it to be very productive. It helps students to see that they are on the right track, and also, again, identify where they have areas of strength and areas of need. I also wanted to share with you that the critical needs assessments that are incorporated into the continuous improvement plans with the state of Indiana, those are due October 1st. We're looking, again, at the iLearn data to learn from the areas our students need to have additional development in achievement-wise, and we will incorporate that into those plans as well. And like last year, I will provide an update to the board of those critical needs assessments. I'm excited to share with you that our Marine Corps JROTC program criteria for that are your service hours, the total dollars of scholarships, and the percentage of students enlisting in the armed forces. So our students in 1819 provided over 6,500 service learning hours in the community. They also received over $500,000 in scholarships, and over 70% of the class of 2018 enlisted in all 4 branches of the armed forces. So these are very, very prestigious honors, and again, only 50 across the entire nation, and I wanted to be sure to share that with all of you. Marching band, boy, they're practicing night and day. I want to thank you because that was an immediate need when the marching band directors came to us and said, hey, we need some additional lighting. So they have been very pleased with the lighting. I've seen the kids out there all hours of the night and on Saturdays in particular. I'm sure they're out there on Sundays too if I didn't know better. That's what they would be
They are.
doing. As you know, our fall sports are off to a great start. I'm excited to bring forward to the board our Sparkle cheerleaders will be coming during this season to introduce themselves to you, and also our athletic directors to share a little bit about that program as well as other fall sports. Let's see here. Talked about the best scores. Parent engagement. I'm going to be providing you with some data about the number of parents and guardians who attended our back to school events. They were very well attended. They were very informative. Our teachers and support staff embraced all of our students as they always do. It was an exciting time, and our kids were ecstatic to be back. Also, our professional development focus, as you're aware, was relationships for August. We've had a lot of really neat things that have been shared at the district level, and I will be bringing some folks before you in the near future to share what they focused on at the building level. And the month of September is regarding student engagement, again, leading practices based on Marzano and high reliability schools. The only other thing I wanted to mention was just appreciation to the board for your continued support and the extension of my contract.
Thank you. Does anybody on the board have anything under other?
Yes, I do. Just wanted to take the opportunity to share with you just a couple of things. Good evening, everyone. Want to take this opportunity to introduce myself again to those who don't know me and reintroduce myself to those who do. My name is Shauna Finley. My husband James and I, we have resided in Portage for about almost 20 years now. We have 3 sons, DeAndre, Davion, and James. 2 of our sons are fortunate enough to have been graduates of Portage Township Schools. And we have a 7th grader who attends Willow Creek Middle School. He was a student in Mr. Molaski's class last year, and he's currently hanging out with Mrs. Stewart. I'm an involved member of the community. I have been a member of Real Life Community Church since 2005. I've coached kids in Pop Warner football, Portage Youth basketball, and officiated swimming for Portage Pop Warner Swim Club alongside my husband. I've also had the opportunity to serve on 2 other boards in our community. Servant leadership is the idea that my efforts are always designed to help others first. I see my role as helping others so all of our children can get a quality education. Right now, I'm currently employed at one of the country's best nonprofit organizations. It's called Communities in Schools. I am their National Director of Professional Development. I develop and implement curriculum to help schools in the area of integrated student supports. I work with school districts, several of them across the country. To be more specific, I work with school districts to create plans so that teachers can focus on teaching and that students can focus on learning. My previous roles include being the high school principal and assistant superintendent at the School City of East Chicago. There as now, my focus is on children to help them get the best education. I absolutely love my current mission and the impact that I am able to have on students in this country. Most importantly, I'm excited about the opportunity I have to serve in this community where I live, my home in Portage, Indiana. As I have mentioned, my focus is on doing great things for kids. There are several things that are currently happening right now in Portage Township Schools, which I highly support and love. My dissertation for my PhD was on career technical education. I'm extremely passionate about that. I love that our career technical education program here in the state of Indiana is some of the best in the state of Indiana. Our kids here in Portage Township School, they excel in that area, and thank you. I also want to say that our social-emotional programs and our restorative justice program are some of the best to none. Thank you for that, too. I can't get my screen to adjust here. This is the best thing about Word. I'm not an Apple person, so I do apologize. And I just want to say that I am here to continue to serve the mission here as a board member. I'm here to continue to serve the work now and in the future. And I just wanted to say that to you in the audience and to the board members that are serving here on this board, that I'm here to service our kids here in Portage Township Schools. Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to make a comment. I probably should have done it earlier, and I'm glad Dr. Allen has brought it up. Just first off, congratulations on excellent review, and I think the contract extension and that we did today, that this board unanimously voted on, as an affirmation of support for you and your team for the hard work that you've done. We appreciate the direction you're leading our district, so thank you.
I think we're all here. There isn't a board member here who is not here sitting in the seat for anything other than what Shauna just stated. I would hope not. We wouldn't be seated here. We all have bios. We all have degrees. Some of us up here have doctorates also. What you just did when the superintendent's contract just got extended for 3 years, I don't understand. What was the purpose of the statement that you made this evening? Why did you make that statement? I'm asking you a question. Why did you make that statement?
Was that a question for me, Cheryl?
That is a question for you, Shauna.
We can talk about this
No, I asked you a
outside of here.
question. You
No,
made
I
a
am,
statement
Cheryl, we
publicly. I'm
have,
asking you a
Cheryl,
question.
we have one employee here, Amanda. Amanda Alanez, Dr. Amanda Alanez, let me clarify that. We'll talk about this outside of here.
I am not talking about it
Well,
outside of a public meeting.
I'm
Please
so-
do not interrupt
No,
me.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this here.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm not gonna do this here.
Where you were supposed to make a public statement?
I'm not gonna do this here.
Were you at a retreat where
I-
you were
I'm
supposed
not
to
gonna
make
do
a
this
public
here.
statement
I'm not gonna do this
to
here.
the internal and external stakeholders, yes or no?
I'm not gonna do this here.
Mr. Miletta, were you at a retreat where Shauna was supposed to make a public statement other than this to the internal and external stakeholders?
Look, we were all at the retreat. I don't believe, right now, I believe this board needs to be unified. We are all in support of our superintendent.
Yes, we are.
And right now is the time, well, the place, to show any division on this board. Each of us have our individual rights to say what we choose to say. And I think by extending the contract, I think we all, again, as I had said earlier, gave our affirmation and our support for our superintendent.
Yes, we did.
And I did say yes,
And there
thank
was
you.
a retreat. I was not there. However, Shauna was supposed to make a statement that she supported the superintendent publicly. That was not the statement you made. This meeting's adjourned.
Have a good day. Have a good day, Mrs. Aprisco.
I always have a wonderful day.
You do that. You do exactly that.